3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, this is TJR. Right here, I'm holding up a copy of Freedom's Goblin by Ty Segall. And not too long ago, on the Music Worth Buying series on this channel, I reviewed this album. I gave it a great positive review. I think this album is just a great combination of garage rock, funk, Black Sabbath style metal, and funk. And I'll leave a link where you can check out the review of this album. I highly recommend this album here. And but one thing that really bothered me that I forgot to bring up in my review is there was no download code for an MP3 version of the album. And now, of course, I am known for digitizing my vinyl and making a CD version, but not everybody does that. And, you know, that means if you want a version for your MP3 player, you know, your phone, whatever it is you use, your mobile device, you have to like purchase it again to get an MP3 version, or like I said, do what I do, which is digitize. But not everybody wants to do that, and everybody can. And I think that's just really inconsiderate to not do that, to not include a download code. I realize that most vinyl releases do include a download code, but every once in a while this happens, and it just really, really bothers me when they do that. Another example that I would bring up here, this is Rifles and Rosary Beads by Mary Gauthier, which is an amazing album. I can't recommend this album enough. And now this did come with a download code, but the MP3s that downloaded, normally when you use the download code, it downloads them as a complete album file, you know, with the album name, titles, artist name, so that if you have iTunes, which is what most people use to organize their music, it's going to properly organize. Instead, when I downloaded the MP3 files, it was just track 1, track 2, track 3, and track 001, track 002, track 003. I remember there were no titles, there was no album name, no artist name, just nothing. And I tried to like correct it myself, and you couldn't. Now, luckily though, I bought this on Amazon. 99% of the time when you buy a CD or vinyl record on Amazon, you have access to what's called Amazon Rip. You get an MP3 version that you can download before you even get your physical copy, which I think is a great service from Amazon. I really appreciate that. Now, once again, yeah, I'm going to digitize this, but sometimes I do like to compare, you know, the sound between the two, see how they feel to each other. And the fact that this, you know, that the MP3 was just so unusable. And like I said, luckily though with Amazon, I was able to download the album in a format that recognizes what it is as far as, you know, all the information of the songs that, you know, iTunes is going to read. You know, so that was fortunate. So one thing I do recommend is if when you do buy physical music, you know, if you get it on Amazon, you're gonna get that. So that's a good thing. But you know, as much as I can't recommend this album enough, and as much as I really like this, I was annoyed by that. I didn't bring that up in the review either. At any rate, though, I'll leave a link for the review that we did on Music Worth Buying about this album, too. You should definitely check that out if you haven't yet. Now, by way of comparison, I want to bring up an artist here who I know some people say is polarizing. I have liked some of his albums. I have disliked some of his albums, but this is one of the ones I really liked. This is Rock and Roll Jesus by Kid Rock. And you know what? He goes a step further in most cases. Not only, or rather I should say, instead of giving you like an MP3 download, he actually gives you a CD of the album. He gives you the album in full quality CD, and it's included. And he's done this since. And I think that's really awesome. And I don't understand why everybody doesn't do that. Because let's be real. I understand supporting the artists. I agree with that. I understand, you know, I don't believe in downloading, stealing music online. I don't believe in that at all. And you know, when you're paying for music, the physical material of a CD, you know, that's not a whole lot, but that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for so many other things. You're paying, besides the artist's work, there's all the people that rely on the artist to make money, for them to get paid. The people who work for the artist, the people who run the tours, the people who, you know, just everything. The people who work at the manufacturing plants that make the CDs or make the vinyl records. You know, all these people, their jobs rely on you buying the physical music and not stealing it online. Anybody who tells me, you know, no jobs are lost when you steal music online, bull. I could go on in more detail, but I won't at this point because that's not what the point of this video is. But Kid Rock actually gives you a full CD, and, you know, physically speaking, just the material to make the CD, that's pennies, you know. But once again, that's not what you're paying for. So to include it, I don't think is any big deal. It's not that much extra expense, and it adds more value to buying a vinyl record when you include that physical CD. Because, like I said, you know, as much as you might like the vinyl experience, you want something that you can listen to on your mobile device. Having the CD gives you that full quality WAV file on CD, and of course the full quality audio on the vinyl record too, which can be different experiences. At any rate, though, I just can't fathom that anybody would release an album now on vinyl and not include an MP3 download card, and also not include one that properly, you know, is read by iTunes, that's organized, has all the information, where you don't have to do any of that work. To me, that's just unfathomable. And once again, I don't want to disown the two artists I've just brought up because I think these are both fantastic albums. These albums they're just great. And I don't regret buying them, you know. But come on, always include that download card. But quite frankly, I hope everybody will follow Kid Rock's example. Include a CD, a bonus CD as well. Okay, so that's my rant for the week. Let me know what you think about this. You know, what experiences have you had buying vinyl records where you don't get an MP3 download? And just give me your thoughts. Everybody take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1.